How's it going, guys? It's Friday, September 13th. Ooh, spooky. And I got you this week's freshwater video. I've also got some important news for you guys, so please stick around to the end to hear about that. But before that, we've got tons of really awesome fish to see this week. Really cool stuff that I love to show you. Let's get right into it. Starting our week off as usual with a couple of bangers. We've got some absolutely gorgeous golden dwarf cichlids. Look at the iridescence on these guys. These are some nice looking males that are really starting to color up now. Especially that guy in the back there. Look at that gill plate. Incredible looking fish. Love golden dwarf cichlids. These are adults. They don't get bigger than this. Absolutely incredible. And hanging out there with him, you see him, earth eater, doing the earth eating. We've got some beautiful young Gouramis and some beautiful little opalescent snow white parrots. And finally, for this tank, no, not celebes. Threadfin rainbows. I always mix those two up for some reason. I absolutely love threadfin rainbows. I think they're gorgeous. I think both the males and females look really nice. And I really love it when you can get a couple males together because the display features on these guys, incredible. Super awesome fish. Absolutely love them. Great way to start out this week. You know, realistically, I guess it's the prim and pompness of myself, but I don't give neon tetras enough credit. They actually are really cool fish. I mean, they look like they're domestically bred for those crazy colors, but that is just their wild form. How cool is that? And I'm actually happy to see we got a bunch of really awesome neons in, as well as some really cool cardinal tetras in. They're not in the same tank, don't worry. It's hard to tell them apart. But love to see them. Absolutely awesome. Just one of the absolute staples of the industry. Adorable little bastards. Speaking of really awesome, small blue and red fish, we have another personal favorite of mine, the dwarf Gouramis, specifically the gorgeous royal dwarf Gouramis. I absolutely love these little guys. These are adult males. They don't really get much, if at all, bigger than what you're seeing here. So they are great for smaller tanks, especially for adding a splash of color and personality. Absolutely wonderful fish. There's so much to love about them. Happy to see them. And of course, begging for attention, we have a handful of some absolutely adorable electric blue acaras, which are quickly becoming my favorite South American cichlid, which is saying something because there are a lot of South American cichlids. But these guys are incredible. They stay on the smaller side. They're nowhere near as aggressive as a lot of their cousins, and God, they're gorgeous. Look at them. Really cool fish. Love to see it. Speaking of really cool South American cichlids, you gotta give credit where credit's due to the Oscar. Just the absolute puppy dog fish of the aquarium industry, at least freshwater. These guys are really awesome, very intelligent. You can train Oscar to do tricks. They're so cool. Absolutely stunning looking fish, especially these really cool albino reds that have that just neon orange across the body. Absolute awesome fish. I am in love with them. Another really awesome fish that I just cannot resist showing off every time we get them in are these incredible looking blue tiger parrots. I don't know, man, there's something about them. They've just got this steel cobalt blue with those awesome oranges and pinks in the chest. It makes it look like superheated metal. It's so cool. And they're full of personality, and they do not get big at all. I've seen some of these things that are several years old that are not big at all. Just all around incredible fish. Look at that one. Wow, look at the pattern. How cool are these? Again, another group of some absolutely incredible fish to show off. We've got a bunch of these gorgeous pearl Gouramis. And I mean, even if you think they're pretty now, nothing compared to adults. These things look amazing as adults. You can start to see it on some of these guys where all those iridescent dots and fluorescent orange bellies are coming through. Incredible. Love these guys. I also find them to be pretty peaceful as far as large Gouramis go. So that's always a plus. Really, really cool. Absolutely love them. Of course, hanging out in there with them, got the beautiful broken line royal pleco and the wonderful zebra loaches. I love me some small benthic loaches. It's no surprise to anybody, I'm a big fan of large schools of tetras. It's just something about it, it's so cool. There's a reason they're just so pervasive throughout the fish industry. But few tetras do it as good for me as the black phantom tetra. These guys are excellent schoolers. They're larger tetras with bigger bodies, so they're easy to see, easy to feed, tons of fun to work with, and they just get really cool sexual dimorphism as they get older. So, absolutely incredible across the board. I love black phantom tetras, and they really are just best kept in multi-sex groups where you've got both males and females together so they can show off at each other. Super cool. Absolutely love them. Honestly, let's just keep the ball rolling on some pretty schooling stuff. Check out these Odessa barbs. How gorgeous are some of these? I mean, even the females are pretty, but wow, look at those males. These kind of almost remind me of some of like the really pretty shiner and dace species that we have here in the United States, like red shiners and rainbow shiners and silver daces and stuff. Really awesome stuff. Absolutely love these guys. They're so peaceful as far as barbs go. There's just not much wrong with them. Like this, what's not to love about these guys? They're so cool. And of course, hanging out there with them, also equally as cool, we have both the electric blue Jack Dempsey cichlid and the albino Senegal Bashir. Back here, Bashir. You know, I'm just gonna call him Polypterus. We have a nice albino Polypterus that refuses to get into focus. There you are. Lots and lots of nice stuff. You know, I actually intentionally intended the theme of this video to be more cichlid-centric, but then suddenly it just took a left turn into schooling fish. And I'm not complaining, it's just, I don't always plan these things. But what I do plan on is telling you how incredible rummy-nosed tetras are. They are one of my absolute favorites. They are right up at the top there with the black phantom tetras. These are just an absolute must-have staple for me in any of my schooling community tanks. Honestly, let's just keep the ball rolling with the schooling theme. I got two more really awesome schooling species hanging out here together. Both of them incredible nano fish species that stay nice and small and both incredibly beautiful. Starting with these pristine looking orange fellas here, the gorgeous pork chop rasbora, named so for that little black mark on the back, kind of looking like the bone in a pork chop. Very cute. And hanging out there with them, another one of my absolute favorite nano schooling fish are the celestial pearl danio or galaxy rasbora, whichever name you prefer. Absolutely incredible little guys. We got males and females available. Love them to death. And hanging out there with them, a little southern there for a second, we have the ever beautiful red sailfin cories. These are just an absolutely awesome looking cory species. Tons of different colors, lots of iridescence. Very, very cool. You know, I originally intended to break away from the schooling thing with this tank and talk about a different really cool fish. But as you can see, there's a few cool schoolers in this tank to talk about as well before I get there. Starting with this absolutely awesome, beautiful tiger endlers. Really, really gorgeous endler species, as well as adorable little clown killies. A bunch of the gorgeous neon blue rasboras hanging out with beautiful green neon tetras. And finally, in the non-schooling department, we have these absolutely gorgeous little goobers. These are the fire sunset honey gouramis. Really, really cool variation on the honey gourami, which I think we have, yeah. So there's your normal sunset honey gourami, which already in themselves are very pretty. And then you have the fires, which will gain that gold like they have, but will keep that really cool flame orange around the fins. Absolutely incredible. And like I said, honey gouramis are very peaceful, very small, all around great gouramis to have. Love them to death. Let's cool gouramis this week too. There's probably more schooling fish that I could show you. Definitely a lot more that I haven't shown, but kind of want to get the ball rolling on these last few tanks here, because we've got a lot of cool stuff in these big tanks, and I want to show it off. Like these gorgeous gold severums. Look at those beautiful, piercing eyes. Absolutely gorgeous fish. And of course, hanging out there with them, the ever sought after Frontosa cichlid And hanging out there with them is the 5-bar cichlid, which if you like frontosas but don't have quite the, setup for a frontosa, 5-bar cichlids are like the perfect alternative. I mean, they look just like frontosas and they live a lot like frontosas, but they just stay much smaller. And finally, hanging out there with them is this really gorgeous white albino giant gourami. So lots and lots of beautiful stuff in this tank. And of course, in the kind of South America section, we've got the gorgeous macaw cichlid hanging around there. And technically not South American, we've got this awesome pair of orange chromide cichlids. The nice, beautiful blue-eyed or cutter cichlids. Really nice stuff. A couple nice turquoise rainbows. And then finally, some absolutely gorgeous wild Colombian Oscars. Absolutely beautiful. Just don't see Oscars like this in captivity very often. Love to see it. Look at the incredible pattern on that one. How cool are these things? And of course, I couldn't not talk about the African cichlids. I mean, those are my babies. I love African cichlids, especially your electrical johannes and your yellow labs, your red top ice zebras, your snow white scephalys, especially my venustus. Ooh, I tell you, that's a male. How gorgeous is that guy gonna be? Nice female there. Parrots, another personal favorite. It's a really good looking red top ice zebra. Just absolutely incredible across the board. So many nice African cichlids, and look at the size of most of these things. Absolute chunks. These are not the tiny little babies you're finding elsewhere. These are some well-established, ready-to-go fish. You just love to see it. Look at those colors. And second to last, but definitely not least, we got a whole bunch of gorgeous discus in this week. Look at these guys. Just tons of variety of just colors, sizes. This one is an absolute standout to me. Look at that. It's got that gorgeous like snakeskin pattern, but with that really cool bright orange body. Nice leopard. Absolutely gorgeous fish. Little marbleau. Love them to death. Man, look at that thing. That looks like a saltwater fish. That is a gorgeous discus. That is not going to last long at all. Honestly, if it were not, I would take this thing. It's super, super cool. And finally, this tank to wrap us out for the week. We've got the gorgeous red-bellied pacu. Not a piranha, but actually a relative, so that's kind of cool. Really neat, very pretty fish, as well as a handful of gorgeous assorted angels. Your wild types and your golds and your marbles and all sorts of nice angels. We've got some absolutely massive chunky skirt tetras. These are just some nice full-grown adults for somebody who just wants something a little more well-established. We've also got a nice iridescent shark hanging around in the back there, albino, as well as big, beautiful geophagus cichlid. And finally, oh, there we go, to end us off for the week, this adorable little guy hanging around the container down here is a gorgeous fire eel. Nice big one. You can see kind of the back end slinking through there. Absolutely beautiful. All those little spiny eel, different species, I love them all to death, but realistically, none of them compare to the fire eel. They're big, they're bold, they're gorgeous, full of personality, and just tons of gorgeous colors on these guys. So one of the coolest of all the spiny eels, and a great way to end off this week. And end it we shall, because just as I promised at the very beginning of the video, I've got some news for you guys that you really need to hear. So I'm moving away. I've lived here in Broward County my whole life, absolutely loved it, but time to experience new things. I'm moving pretty far north now, and that does unfortunately mean I won't be doing the videos anymore. But what that doesn't mean is that anything's changing around here at the store, because they are still going to be getting incredible fish in. Rob, the owner, has an absolute eye for fish. You see me come in here every week and glazing all this stuff up because of his genius. He knows exactly what fish to get. Man's a genius when it comes to this stuff. So just because I'm not here recording the videos anymore does not mean the fish aren't flowing. Lots of great stuff that's still going to be coming in. I actually got a sneak peek of some of the stuff that's coming in next week too. Almost sad that I'm not making a video on that. Some absolutely incredible stuff. But hey, it is what it is. It has been an incredible few years doing this stuff with you guys. Absolutely love it. You guys are wonderful people who have said so many nice things, and I see it and I appreciate all of it. And I know I haven't said that enough, but I promise I do. I super appreciate it, and I really hope you guys come in and give all the guys here all the love possible, because they deserve it. They do a great job keeping this place nice and presenting amazing, beautiful fish for you, and they're gonna keep doing that whether or not I'm here. But hey, for at least this last time, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and who knows what the future holds. Might be some cool stuff in the works. We'll see. Till next time.